So people, to anyone who says that Napalm Death is a sellout, this would be their sellout. Like this goddamn video, like this is like such a goddamn hipster video, like whatever the fuck that might be. The fact of the matter is, assholes, Napalm Death have always been a grungy or like this goddamn thing about them selling out. It's total shit, by the way. Like if you listen to Scum is like they're like the from enslavement to obliteration, right? Their first EP, and then you've got Scum. Scum is just like a rock song. Do doom 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 doom. Anyway, this is Greed Killing, and this is their sellout song. If you need a vocalist, hit me up, or don't. Like, put an ad on Craigslist, and good luck to you. Oh shit. No sound. Guys, like somebody interviewed like the bassist, like Shane Embry. I've seen Napalm Death 4 times, by the way. 1994 in New Haven, 1996 in Albany, 2017 in goddamn Bridgeport, and then one other time, I believe, or maybe not. I've talked to this guy. I think he knows me, like Barney, like whatever. Like we were standing outside, like the first show. Like my buddy from Dagestan was there. Like this guy shows up. Like, what's his name? He pulls up and he's like, "Yo, can you tell me can you tell us where the I-95 is?" And it's like fucking Barney from Napalm Death. And so my Dagestani friend, he's like, oh my god, and he's like his like soldier time, right? His posture, his spine is straight. And he goes up and he talks to this guy and he shakes his hand and he's like, what a great show. And then there's this drunk guy. This is New Haven, 1994. I went to university at the University of Bridgeport from 1994 to 98. Bridgeport, Connecticut, and New Haven is just like half an hour to an hour north of that, right? Of there. And like the goddamn, like literally the week I landed up at university for my first semester, I just happened upon an ad that Napalm Death were playing. Yo, and I remember a buddy of mine saying, yo man, if you ever go to a metal show, you're not going to be stage diving. And I did, so I did. Like my first Napalm Death show, I went on to the stage and I dove off it, right? Anyway, so this is Greed Killing. Somebody was interviewing Shane Embry, the bassist, at Sign Official ND is his Twitter handle, I think, something like this. He does the marketing for the band. Guys, and some asshole says to him that this song sounds like Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, the opening of this song. Like, by the way, Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin is like this. And I'll sing it so you know what song that is. That's Immigrant Song. That's Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song. Tell me if you think this goddamn thing sounds anything like this. It's kind of catchy and whatever. Here you go. Greed Killing by Napalm Death. Shit, no sound. I'm such a moron. And I gotta take it back, like to the beginning, cause of the drum roll. What drum roll? This assholes. Oh god. Is it still recording? The wrong time. Tell me this isn't. Oh god. My phone. I think my wife is. Oh shit. I think my wife is jinxing it. The wrong time. The wrong place. A smiling face of destroy. Bury the sea deep in our heads. Prepare ourselves for the Greed Killing. The Greed. They don't call it singing, by the way. They call it grunting, right? Like, yeah, whatever. Instinct is raw. Instinct of war. Whatever truly your feeling. Give for a Greed Killing. Greed Killing. Not now then when. The scream, that's the guitarist. Mitch Harris. He's from Las Vegas. The rest of these guys are from England. I don't know about the drummer. Yo, Barney's from England, whatever. Lost life blood. He cut his hair, right? The lust denies the need. Lost life blood. Lost life blood. Existence is all steady blood. We're molded in its glow. You don't got no faith in what you are. No pressure built my from this floor. Tell me this is not a sellout. Tell me this is not a sellout video. Look at these goddamn people. Whatever, they've always been a sellout, assholes, because you're trying to get people to listen to your shit or not. Like Metallica, whatever. They're not a thrash band, they're for the kids, they're business. They fucking rock, alright? I don't like, whatever. I am going to, because I like the song so much, I am going to play the last verse, and I just want to say, Metallica, okay. A, tell me I'm wrong, and you can't. Dave Mustaine of Megadeth started Metallica. The proof is, because Prophet Muhammad said, for every truth there's a proof. The Quran says, Fa'tu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqin. So, whatever you, like atheists, like whatever you say, you need to have some proof or some kind of logic. So, Megadeth was started by Dave Mustaine after he was kicked out of Metallica. I just want to say this and clear this up, because I believe that goddamn James Hetfield is back on heroin, or is he not? Like, I saw this thing on YouTube, or like I didn't click on it, but like there's a video like out there about his rehab in 2020. So now, I just want to point these things out because they suck. Like, Dave Mustaine started Metallica. The proof of that is that he took 2 of the songs from Metallica's first album over to Megadeth for their first album, this kind of thing. Like the Four Horsemen, if that rings any bells. The Four Horsemen was written by Dave Mustaine. And by the way, Dave Mustaine is like the best guitarist slash songwriter slash soloist in the world, period. And by the way, he says of Kirk Hammett of Metallica, who also is a god in his own right, like a demigod in the guitar world. Yo, Kirk Hammett, he can play a few good notes. Have you listened to any Megadeth, by the way? So now, I just want to make this clear. A, Metallica are no longer a thrash band. Okay, let's just make this clear. Megadeth are a thrash band. What's a thrash band? Not Metallica. Let's just put it that way. Now, 72 Seasons is a great album. They just released it last month or something, Metallica. And it's kind of thrashy. I like it a lot. I've listened to 2 or 3 songs, and I like it a lot. Now, C, James Hetfield, I don't like. They kicked Dave Mustaine out of Metallica for being too drunk. This was the thing. Like, he drank. Like, everyone did drugs. Megadeth, like Aerosmith, like Guns N' Roses, everyone did drugs. Like those 10 years in the 80s when Microsoft was, like, Bill Gates was building Microsoft and he didn't take a day off apart from one Christmas for 10 years. Like, metal and thrash and all these guys, like rock or whatever, like, that's 10 years in the 80s, if not going back to the 60s if you're like the Rolling Stones or something. These guys did drugs, like all kinds of drugs. Like, Dave Mustaine he doesn't do drugs anymore as far as I'm concerned and as far as I know, and I don't think so, because he got to a point where I remember seeing some interview about some producer or someone who wanted to work with Megadeth, and she was blown away. Like, the guy couldn't even, like, play anything, like a note or sing or nothing. He was such a mess with the drugs. So now, they kicked him out of Megadeth. They kicked him out of Metallica, okay, for drinking. Okay, now, was he late for band practice? I don't know. Like, did he fall off of the stage? This kind of thing. So they kicked him out, and here's the thing that pisses me off. I don't like James Hetfield. I'm just going to say this. He's a public figure, and so I'm going to take my pot shot. He's a great guitarist, songwriter, okay? And he's in a band called Metallica, and I'm just some guy with this measuring cup for audio, and I'm just talking shit, and you're listening, and if you're listening, you should be doing something else, right? But Megadeth was started, Metallica was started by Dave Mustaine, who went on to form Megadeth. Megadeth is still thrash. They still kick ass. He still solos his face off, and they'll destroy anyone on like solos and guitars and like Megadeth. Like, have you listened to any Megadeth? I'm serious. Okay, so now James Hetfield kicked this guy, and because he took his place, right? Like, Dave Mustaine would have been like the vocalist, right? But Hetfield kicked him out, and then the pretext was that he drinks. But James Hetfield is a goddamn smackhead. Now, everyone did drugs for 10 years, but like, you get off of it, right? And I don't know what to say. Like, I don't like talking shit about people, and unless they're like evil, and let alone like Metallica. Like, so Metallica, okay, as far as Metallica is concerned, here's what it is. They are a business. They are about the kids. I saw Metallica as a security guard. I worked for a company called Northwest Security. 2018 Rogers, I saw Metallica. My wife and I were this close to seeing Iron Maiden, but we got kicked out because they realized that I wasn't meant to be there that day. Anyway, so I've never seen this, like, I was blown away, let's put it this way. I've never seen this kind of excitement, more or less. I don't think so. Like, the doors opened. I was basically, of course, God is great, I was in the perfect spot, right in the middle of the auditorium, just center, just looking at the stage. The only problem was I had to stand there for hours. I couldn't go take a leak, or I couldn't pray or something like this. But when they opened the doors of the auditorium, these goddamn kids rushed the stage. And that's when I started thinking about this thing, and I realized that Metallica, saying that they're a sellout, okay, there's a lot to be said about selling out, okay? Like, again, Napalm Death, we're still playing Greed Killing, and the last verse I want to listen to, so I'm going to play that and then wrap it up here. So if you're listening to this and watching this, I'm bipolar, right? And I smoke weed, and I act like I am right now, just talking shit and acting like a fucking idiot. But I can sing, and I've been wanting for some time now to put some videos out there of me singing. So now, if you have a request, let me know if you're listening to this and you want me to sing something and it's not total shit. Or let's put it this way, if I know it, I'll put it up there for you. Now, as far as Metallica is concerned, it's about the kids. This is what I realized. That's it. Like, the kids are the biggest market, by the way, in terms of marketing, and the market. Like, teenage kids, like teenage girls, let's just put it this way. Teenage girls, one of the most important market segments or demographics, period. Teenagers nowadays, and going back to the 80s, last 40 years, huge market, right? Baby boomers, they give their kids money, and kids have huge buying power. So now, Metallica is about the kids. Now, this is great as far as I'm concerned. Now, the fact that they took out, like, Kirk Hammett's solos out of the Saint Anger album, that pissed me off. Like, he apparently played the solos and then they took them out, and like, ostensibly it would be to sound like Korn or something like this. It doesn't make any sense. But let's just say this. Metallica are a business. Are they a sellout? As a so-called artist, would-be artist myself, like, I've got, if you Google me, ZAIDIBOY, that youtube.com/ZAIDIBOY, Zaidi boy. Zaidia means Sia in Chinese, Zaidia. And Zaidi is a Pakistani name, and nobody gets it. Nobody. I could spell it out like 5 times, ZAIDI, nobody gets it. ZA, which is A to Z backwards. ID is what you take. ID is what ID is about I, right? Anyway, I had like a little gimmick to get people to remember it. But by the way, I'm not trying to sell you anything. Like, if you have a band and you need a vocalist or whatever, or you want some like some vocal makeover or some bullshit like this, let me know, right? So listen to some of my other goddamn songs on here. Shoot me a line. I may not see it. So Metallica is a business, and they're about the kids, and this is great. And they sing positive and wholesome songs and this kind of stuff. So this is all good. And that's all I wanted to say. And so this is the last verse of Greed Killing, I think. Could it be just sour grapes, or have we failed to fit? Yo, it's always give and never take. How much more can we give? How much more can we take?
Could it be just sour grapes? Or have we failed to fit the shit? It's always give and never take. How much more can we give? How much more can we take? Not now, then when? Not now, then when? 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 The last night's game. The last night game. Last night game. Last night game. Last night game. Existence is a steady flow. No mountain its grow. No cost no faith in what you are. The pressure feels like broken straw.
Alright, so that's from the Die Tribes album, 1996. And see you later, and whatever, see you later.